All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, 3 likes. Thank you, guys. Thank you. All right, so let's get right into it. Actually, before I begin, let me make sure my audio is working here. All right, perfect. Okay, so let's get right into things because we have a lot of stuff to talk about. First of all, overnight futures is absolutely crashing to the downside. And, it seems like the markets have finally start to think about the fact that, hey, this escalation in the Middle East is actually turning serious now because it seems like Israel and Iran are now at war. So it's expanding, and the markets have been kind of, I would say it hasn't been ignoring it, but it's definitely been looking out for a potential expansion of the current conflict between Israel and Hamas, right? So, right now, I guess it's Israel and Palestine. It kind of feels as if the overall markets are finally, I guess, pricing in the fact that this expansion could become serious and the entire Middle East can be engulfed in war, right? That's kind of the indication that I'm getting, the emotions that I'm getting from the markets. Thanks to this kind of very fearful run, I guess, to the downside overnight. So I have some light SPY calls. I only have 2 contracts, so it should be fine. But I most definitely will have to get out tomorrow morning. Also, depending on how pre-market action turns out to be. But so far, we're still within a demand area, right? So first of all, the first initial movements from the market always tend to be backed up by human emotion. And that's the reason why we're down over a percentage overnight. And at some point, this war news will be priced in. And it's just like, for example, in the Ukrainian and Russian war, right? When Russia invaded Ukraine, the markets were going crazy. And there's initial fear, but now, after almost 3 years of this invasion occurring, the market has simply forgot about it. So today's event, or I guess tonight's events for us that is currently transpiring, are going to be definitely forgotten in the next couple of months or even weeks. So take this as an opportunity to even start longing on some indices. Okay, like S&P 500 or the Nasdaq, or even small caps. But right now, obviously, we should not be looking to go heavy in any type of long-term position on the markets and the overall indices. We need to wait for an actual signal for a pivot back to the upside, an actual signal that will point towards a reversal to the upside. So for now, just make sure you guys know where the levels are at. So for example, on SPY futures, I told my members this last night, that we have this area between 5,060, so 5060 as the upper range, and all the way down to 4,936.50, or just 4,936.50. So this is my lower and upper range that we are currently looking at to be stuck in. And so I would expect some very wild ranges and wild price ranges every single day, as we are currently stuck in between these 2 lower and upper ranges. So make sure you guys have this on your charts as well. Now, if I translate that over to SPY, okay, let's make sure we load everything in. So basically, that kind of translates to around 490. Okay, so 490 to around, I would say, like 498.50. Okay, so 490.50 to around 498.50. I mean, it's basically what we're looking at right now. So SPY futures, again, definitely I think this is going to be an overblown move. I would have much rather seen this type of a move, or actually I would have much rather seen that news come out before. But hey, you know, war is war. It's ugly. I just wish that did not happen tonight, but hey, it is what it is, right? We got to work around it. So SPY, again, currently right now, it is staying underneath 493, I believe, based on where SPY futures are at. I'm pretty sure it should be ranging around 492 to 494 tonight. And if anything changes, if you do get a gap up, not a gap up, a pivot back up higher into pre-market, that would be very nice. Because we are starting to really overextend this move to the downside, and hopefully this news is what causes a huge pivot back to the upside. Now, for SPX, on the other hand, right, for SPX, we have definitely broken below that 5,000 whole number level, and it'll be pretty interesting to see if we get any type of a bounce somewhere around this 4,950 level. All right, so 4,950 level is where I want SPX to bounce overnight, or well, tomorrow. Okay, if we do decide to stay at lows throughout the entirety of this night. But just know this now. Okay, just know this. On SPY, we have officially filled in this gap up, this massive gap up area that we've seen in February 21st through February 22nd. And I've been waiting to see if we will fill this gap, and we finally got it overnight. I mean, even today and yesterday, we started to fill in about, I would say, like 75% of this gap up area. And tonight's price action has completely filled it in, and then some, as it plunged lower. So, you know, with the fact that we have fallen back down into a new demand area, and also we have fallen down below this gap up area on futures, I would expect to see some sort of a, at the minimum, some defensive buying coming back in pre-market or overnight. So once this news-related catalyst passes by, we should be seeing a pretty good opportunity to get a nice pivot and a nice large bounce, because again, SPY futures has been waiting basically for a large move down and, you know, hit that oversold value on the RSI, and so far it's oversold on the daily, right? So the RSI right now is at 29.35. It was a lot lower before, but even on the intraday 15-minute time frame, we're at the tens. Yeah, we almost reached single-digit values for the RSI. So this is a bit overblown now. So we're getting a small bounce, but I wouldn't count on a very large bounce before we turn into the next day, so at 12 a.m. for me, Pacific Standard Time. So, you know, it should be interesting overall, but again, I have to get out for my SPY contracts that I'm holding that expire next week, expires next Friday. So definitely I will have to reevaluate those SPY calls and expect to see some sort of a relief bounce heading into OPEX tomorrow. So now I want to talk about OPEX. So we have, excuse me guys, so we have the monthly OPEX this month on April 19th, and it should be a way for market dealers to start really just exiting their hedges, right? So I would expect them to start buying back up on some positions, on long positions, and you know, I'm not gonna, well, see now I'm just a bit conflicted now because of the fact that I did not expect to see this large move down from the war news, but I'm just being as calm as possible and I'm not trying to waver with my initial analysis on the S&P 500 and based on what I was initially thinking about OPEX. But you know, these type of news is obviously you can't tell the future. I can't tell the future. None of you guys can tell the future about what could happen. But it's just it could get a bit frustrating, especially when you have a thought out plan as to what could occur in OPEX, heading into OPEX tomorrow. So, you know, I mean, it is what it is. You know, I'm just shrugging at this point. It's like I don't really know what to say. I mean, I have to wait until the market truly gives me some sort of a solid bounce for me to be able to understand what OPEX will be. So I will be watching this overnight, but I'm gonna stay calm. Hey Sparky, I threw my whole computer out. Yeah, yeah. So this is the frustrating part, right? About trading, about the stock market. You know, we've always known, well, all of us have known, and you guys should have known, that there are risks right now involved with the markets. It's a risk-off environment. But what's more frustrating personally for me is my own analysis, right? My own bias and analysis that's been completely negated now, and I have to completely change up my thinking, which I can. It's just initially it gets frustrating when, you know, we see news coming out like right now. That's the reason why earlier I said that I wish this news came out that, you know, Israel is now attacking Iran and retaliating, and potentially causing an expansion of this war in the Middle East. Like, I wish we've gotten that earlier, right? When I was actually, you know, hitting hard with those puts. But, you know, yeah, for sure, always, especially this week. Yeah. And you know, obviously today, you know, Sparky as well in the private Discord, I was telling everyone that, hey, it seems like this bearish fervor is slowing down, just based on what I'm looking at, based on my technicals, right? Based on my volume, based on the price action, you know, based on the lackluster volume intraday as well, not just in the daily. And so it just looked really primed to have a nice move back up higher. And for the past 3 days, we've been, well, including today, we've been making very nice jump, well, little tiny pops to the upside every single morning, only for it to fail. So again, like I said on Tuesday, it seemed like both the bears and the bulls were on equal footing. So to me, that just told me that, hey, there is a possibility for us to have a nice bounce, since we are kind of overextending this initial move down for a pullback. So, you know, it's at this point, I can't do anything overnight. None of us can do anything overnight for holding positions, whether you're short or long. So, you know, at this point, I'm just going to continue to watch, and I won't have too much of a thought on OPEX tomorrow. I'm not going to really try to predict what could happen with OPEX, but hey, you know what? I think you know, it's OPEX. Well, overall, I'm trying to clean up my thoughts here. Overall, OPEX should just be a time where the market dealers, right? The market dealers are just, you know, cleaning up their hedges, right? They're gonna stop. They're gonna take out their hedge positions, and they have to buy back on the underlying stock that they're hedging on, or whatever means that they've been hedging through. And that should cause some sort of a bullish bounce back to the upside. And that was my initial thinking heading into OPEX. But you know, this happened, right? This happened. So again, just focus on the levels now at this point. There's nothing much that you can do, or I can even do. So I mean, I can play futures, but I don't. Unfortunately, I realized that I'm pretty bad at futures. And you know, people have asked me, you know, why don't you trade futures? And I mean, it's not my forte, right? It's not my forte. It's not my cup of tea. I tried it multiple times. I failed multiple times, and it's fun. It's fun, but it's not fun when you're losing money, right? Right? And you just can't seem to grasp, or at least understand how to do this correctly. And to me, futures trading seemed a little bit more like day trading and scalping, which is also not my forte. So that's that, right? I'm sticking to what works for me. And if it works out for you guys, if you guys are day traders, professional scalpers, and can easily translate such skills to futures trading, then hey, by all means, try it out. But for me, it ended up not being my thing. I tried it last year too, and I was like, no, it's not working out. It really isn't working out. So I made some very good profits, almost 1,000 on one of the trades, on one single trade. And I was like, wow, this is great. And then it went back down. So I was like, oh, nope, taking my hands off, not doing it. Okay. And, it's just such an over leveraged type of trading. So I'm already comfortable with options trading, which is also a leveraged type of trading. So I'm good with that. So yeah, guys, with Netflix earnings as well, ending up to the downside. If you guys haven't checked Netflix, they reported some really good numbers though, like absolutely good numbers. They've actually had expansion in their subscribers too, and their revenue, there was a double beat, I believe. Yep. So earnings, huge beat. Revenue, pretty good beat. I mean, both were double beat is a double beat, right? It's very good. But Netflix has already been basically pricing in to this quarter's earnings, so it kind of made sense that they were going down a little bit. I mean, they're not down too much, but overall, it was a pretty good earnings report. I didn't catch their guidance and outlook, but overall, Netflix still had an initial reaction to the upside, and then it moved back down as the numbers came in, and then the conference call began. So Netflix should also aid in kind of more of that bearish tone early on in the morning, whether it be through pre-market or at market open. So that's something to also think about as well. But overall, the entire markets are going to be definitely focusing on this entire potential Middle East war outbreak. Outbreak sounds a little bit off. Sounds like I'm talking about like a virus or a pathogen that's going wild. But so far, SPY should be somewhere around, well, based on how futures look right now. Hey, thank you guys for 6 likes. So 4995. Okay, so we're bouncing a little bit here. So that means SPY should be around 494. Yeah, it should have just broken above 494. Okay. So if you guys have any means of looking at the overnight S&P 500 or SPY price action, I believe, yeah, Robinhood. That's right. Robinhood has that overnight feature. So you guys can check. I'm pretty sure it should be over 494. 494 point, I don't know. Some like 494.50 maybe. But yeah, that's exactly where we should be at now. So if some of you guys want to confirm that for me, go ahead. If you guys have Robinhood. I'm too lazy to bring a Robinhood on my phone. But yeah, so that's something that I want to be looking out for heading into OPEX as market dealers start to close out their hedges, and that means they have to buy back the underlying stock. They have to go long as well, and that should bring about some sort of a buying pressure heading into the end of the day. But at the same time, OPEX usually tends to be a red day as well. But thanks to this very large move to the downside, this very oversold move to the downside, I think OPEX at this point has been priced in, right? I mean that's what I'm feeling here. So everything is based on emotion right now, and I'm feeling some frustration, but I'm trying to stay as calm as possible and focus on what I need to do next. Okay? So hopefully that is the same case for you guys, and hopefully you guys follow exactly what I'm doing as well, in terms of thinking and overall just having a calm demeanor when things like this happen. I mean, my mind is jumbled, but once I'm able to understand what I need to do, I've become a lot more calmer and just more focus on what I actually need to do instead of getting so emotional. So hopefully you guys can try that and follow that in the near-term future as well whenever we do have such events like this, whether it be a huge gap up or a huge gap down. Okay, so yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I mean there really isn't much to talk about tonight, since any type of chart patterns that I'm going to be talking about will be negated at this point. But the swing trade idea that I gave you guys on Tuesday should be up nicely tomorrow morning, EOG. So take a look at that. Oil is up very, very nicely overnight as well. Crude oil had a very huge jump. Most of the major commodities are up as well. So oil related names like EOG, or even just like XOM, Oxy, all the popular names, right? Or even VLO, right? They should be up pre-market. They should be up a lot. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, I really don't have anything to really talk about much other than look out for the levels, right? Look out for the levels that I've given you guys on SPY and for SPY futures and also SPX as well. Okay. All right, if you guys are just joining in now, make sure you guys take a look at the recording and take a look at all my levels that I've given so far, even on Tuesday or even in the previous live streams, well, all my lives for the past couple of months, and especially this recording. Okay, so make sure you guys watch that recording and also put the levels on your own daily time frames for the S&P 500. Very, very crucial that you guys do that. Okay, because my levels tend to be very accurate. So make sure you guys put that on your own charts. All right, giving you guys all a thumbs up. Hey, Sparky, XOM is at 124.25. Oh, 5%. Nearly 5% to the upside. Wow, wow, wow. Look at that. It's over that previous high as well. Of 123.75. Yeah, all these popular oil names, you know, oil refineries like EOG and VLO, they're all going to be up tomorrow, overnight right now too, obviously, and yeah, it should be fun tomorrow. It should be fun. It's not gonna be pretty in the morning, but hey, gotta deal with it, right? Gotta deal with it. Yeah. All right, guys. That's pretty much it. For all the members, that's pretty much it too. Especially what I told you guys in the CFO Discord a couple of hours ago, about like an hour ago. So make sure you guys read that. And yeah, I will see you guys next week on Tuesday at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 11:15 p.m. I said that wrong. 8:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Or I think I did say that correctly. My God, my mind is jumbled because I had to restructure what I need to be expecting tomorrow and into OPEX. So I will be doing that overnight. And for all the private members, I will be giving you guys any other information or anything that I'm thinking about overnight. So see you guys back in the CFO Discord. All right. But yeah, guys, to the rest of you guys, have a great rest of your night. Don't think about this too hard. Just be prepared tomorrow morning and you guys will be fine. All right. Have a great rest of your night and good luck.